All right, let's talk about one of the most important things in Koddex, permissions. If you're managing a growing team, I bet you've had that thought. How do I give everyone what they need to do their job without accidentally giving away the keys to everything? Well, in this explainer, we're going to break it all down and show you exactly how to become a master of access control.
And yeah, this question, it really hits the nail on the head. It's the core problem, isn't it? You want to empower your team. You want them to move fast. But you can't just leave the front door to all your sensitive information wide open. It's a balancing act, and Koddex is built from the ground up to solve it.
So, that's the big challenge, and the whole Koddex permission system is designed to give you three really important things. First, security you can actually rely on. Second, crystal clear clarity, so you always know exactly who can see what. And third, the power to delegate responsibilities without losing sleep. It's all about putting you in control.
Okay, to really get a handle on this, the first thing you need to do is split permissions into two separate buckets in your mind. In the first bucket, you have accessing data. Who can actually see a sales report or edit a project file. In the second bucket, you have Koddex administration. This is the meta-level stuff. Who can add new members to the team or change the permission settings themselves. Two totally different jobs, and it's so important to keep them separate.
Okay, let's dive into that first bucket, accessing the actual data. To really get this right, we just need to understand a few fundamental building blocks. First things first, you've got the user. Pretty straightforward, right? This is a person on your team, someone logging in and getting work done. Now, there are also machine identities called service accounts for things like API access, but for now, let's just focus on the people. Next up, we have groups. You can take a bunch of users and put them into a group, like say the sales team or marketing team. But, and this is a really crucial point, a group by itself has zero permissions. It can't do anything. Think of it like an empty folder on your computer. It's just a container for organizing things. So how do they get any power? Well, this is how. Through something called an access tag. This is where the magic happens. If a group is your collection of people, the access tag is the actual key that unlocks a specific door. You attach this tag to your data, then you give that tag to a group. Boom. Suddenly, everyone in that group has the key to access that specific data. And these are not just simple on or off keys. No way. You get incredibly specific control. You can decide if a group can only view something or if they can also edit it. You can control if they can see an item's history, manage its revisions, all of it. This level of fine-grained control is what makes the system so incredibly powerful. So we've figured out how to give people keys to access data. But wait a minute. Who gets to hand out the keys? Who manages the groups and creates the tags in the first place? And that brings us to our second big bucket of permissions, administration. The answer here is roles. A role is what gives a user administrative power. So let me put this as simply as possible. Access tags control access to your data, while roles control access to the permission system itself. Roles determine who can manage users, create new groups, or assign those access tags we just talked about. And this right here is probably the single most important distinction to burn into your brain. Let's be super clear. Giving someone an administrative role does not automatically let them see your secret company data. Nope. All it does is give them the power to manage how access is granted to others. It's a critical separation of duties that keeps everything secure. Now, Koddex gives you a couple of useful roles right out of the box. You've got the owner, who is the top-level superadmin, and the administrator, who can handle most of the day-to-day stuff. But honestly, the real power, the real flexibility, comes from creating your own custom roles for very specific delegated tasks. Okay, that's enough theory. Let's make this concrete and see how it all comes together in the real world. Imagine you're setting up the permissions for your company's sales team. Check this out. A regular sales member gets an access tag that lets them view and edit sales data. That's it, no admin power. But the sales manager gets the exact same data access, but we've also given them a custom role. And that role lets them do one thing, add or remove people from their own sales group. They can't touch anything else. That's safe delegation in action. It frees up the main administrator to focus on the big picture. See how clean that is? Whew, okay, we have covered a lot of ground. So let's just pull it all together and recap the absolute key takeaways. This is your permissions toolkit. It all comes down to these four pillars. 1. Users are your people. 2. Groups are just for organizing them. 3. Access tags are the keys that grant permissions to the actual data. And 4. Roles are what grant the power to administer the system.
If you remember these 4 concepts, you've got this. You have absolutely mastered the logic of Koddex permissions.